the brain and triggers genetic memory. Saga is chiefly an oral tradition based on the teachings of sound. It is not written tradition, for to write of it is impossible. It must be heard and experienced. Therefore, most of the information to date has been in the form of audio tapes with very little reference material. And this article is based on my understanding of these tapes. The use of the English language to convey the oral sounds is a challenge. In those instances, words like Udin should be spelled Odin. Yet, I have spelt this closer to the correct sound, enabling the reader to get the sound in their head. The term heathen is Heiden or Heeden, meaning whole and worthy, and is not meant in a disrespectful way. Thus, the saga, sa being received, and ga being given in both root and van languages, is an understanding that one must receive first to then be able to give. Holy Grail of languages is but one small fragment of the knowledge contained within the Kala of sound. Human history, philosophy, health, well-being, and most importantly, the understanding that we are all one is a critical part of these teachings. In antiquity, at a time when this knowledge was common, there existed a communal philosophy, one breeding, information system, one giving system, one ring which created health and well-being. Our ancestors understood that this generation would be ready to serve its birthright, the origins and knowledge contained within the saga. The question remains, are we ready? Now, the saga is a history and a mystery so huge it defies description. To date, Yorbach has released information about 4 major periods in Earth's history. These periods are the Paradise Time, Atlantis, the time following Atlantis, and the New Times. All of this knowledge is known as the Vain-Am-Onian mythology. According to the saga's history of human evolution, which dates to the first seed of life on this Earth, the seeds grew and evolved to a point where eels formed. Eels then gave rise to frogs, which eventually evolved into monkeys. At some point, the genetics of the monkey and the goat, the symbol of Bach, were combined to create the first 2 humans, Frigg and Freya. The saga does not say who was responsible for these genetic manipulations. This occurred at the exact North Pole, around which the sun circled and never set. Surrounding the pole was a land that became the motherland, known as Odinma, or Udinma. At its center was Hell, meaning clear, home, and complete. The humans were known as People. People and all knowledge could be understood within the pole and ring. It's significant to note that mathematics is based on 0 and 1, a pole and a ring. Udinma, the Garden of Udin, which later became known as Eden, is now in southern Finland and was a tropical paradise and the home of the first people known as the Aesir. Ringlands were created outside of Udinma, and within each ringland, the breeding system was put into place. People who lived outside of Udinma were known as the Vanir, people who had the Van, meaning one language. Within the Kala of sounds, which made up the root language, was the knowledge of how to be one with nature and our plan et. Plan means plan, and et means family. Family planned to create wholeness. Men and women were equal. The first man had his story or history, and the female her miss story or mystery. Both understood the knowledge of how to light the sun, of how the light of the sun enabled all things to grow, and is everything, known as Odin. Udin also represents the knowledge of the court of Aesir. One ring, whole and complete, one giving breeding system, Yehovah, given to the court of Aesir, was in Udinma, with Hell at its center. With this knowledge and the proper utilization, the Aesir was considered healthy, whole, and complete. This was eventually changed to Jehovah. God, good, within became God in heaven. Though through Christian times, the heathen system and all it represented was hunted down, destroyed, and removed. Eventually, the female was excluded from this new system because much of her mystery, story, became taboo or taboo.
Of course it did.
Yes.
How high was this fucking guy?
Ta is to give, to germinate the seed, which is feminine. B is Borg, meaning cast-el, or castle, the breeding system, and U is Odin, and the sun, and knowledge to make things grow healthy. Shiva is the sun and moon once a month, knowledge of the moon and monthly cycles, the respect and sharing of male and female essence, sperma, and sav was regarded as whole or holy, and created the I, moon, N system, meaning in the mouth, creating a healthy and whole immune system. Then the respect and sharing of sperma and sav became taboo, in other words, restricted and forbidden. Men could no longer understand the history and mystery to assimilate the seeds of knowledge. They did not follow the breeding system and create a wholeness with Udin. Prior to this time, it was the female's right to choose when to be a mother by way of the dream Lucia. This happened on the 13th of December, Lucia Day. The 24th December was Fest Ival, the festival day, when Disa, stem mothers, were impregnated by Laman Kanding inside Omendal. On this day, the coming fathers stood on pedestals, naked, with standing pricks, so that the self-chosen mother could just look at their sweethearts in the eye and choose the one they liked.
Wow.
The 25th December was Yuletide, the birthday of the sun, not the Son of God. On December 26th, December of men chosen on Festival Day had to pass a physical test to prove their fitness to be a father. This day was known as Boxing Day, now called Boxing Day.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Throughout the corruption of Christian times, the original meaning of the language and their importance was changed, lost, or contaminated. Consequently, the female was denied her natural worth and equality. Instead of sperma and sav being honored, it became ill-used and wasted. So as we can see, this really relies on his understanding of this linguistic system that he kind of cooked.
Yeah.
Pete, this is why I thank God for you, because I've never been so entertained in my life as I am right now. There's just like every sentence, there's so much wrong with this guy. And it's like, if this really was a story passed down through generations and generations, it would have really, in actuality, been completely lost, because at some point, somebody would be like, this shit's fucking crazy, it's full of shit. They would have stopped telling it. I honestly believe that he just made it all up, and he's a schizo, and that's what it is.
They should have wrote it down for man.
Boxing Day, that's a Canadian holiday based on a sport. Maybe Unboxing Day, I don't know. That'd be more popular these
Unboxing
days.
Day. That's like Christmas time. You unbox a present.
Yeah.
Unboxing Day.
Yeah, Unboxing Day is the origin of Christmas.
He's entertaining. I'll give him that.
I know, but like, seriously. Serious lack of knowledge on language here. It's like he thought that people spoke English since the beginning of time. And he's not even English.
No, he wasn't even English. He was a Swedish-speaking Finn.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, would he... I don't know. I'm going to stop asking questions and listen to all the funny stuff now.
So, over 50 million years ago, the Ancient Ones saw there was a change taking place on the planet. Most scientific studies indicate the Ice Age began 65 million years ago, but this time is based on scientific techniques that may be flawed. According to the saga, the first major changes occurred over 50 million years ago, resulting in a shifting of the poles, causing all the lands to become ice. This was known as the time of all the lands ice, or Atlantis, otherwise known as Atlantis. Atlantis was not so much a location as it was a time in history. Anticipating this major change, the Aesir set up 10 locations around the world so the Vanir people could survive the ice time. Afterwards, there were 10 breeding systems that became 10 different races of people with 10 different languages, all based on the original Rot, Root, or Van languages. When the ice came, the Aesir were cut off from the Vanir people, largely due to a warm Gulf Stream current flowing into the Finnish Gulf. The region of Udenma remained ice-free. According to the saga, the second Ragnarok, or the second destruction, occurred just over 10